Hello, guys. Welcome back to Frank Aboki Predicts, where we analyze and predict the Premier League games for the week. This week, there's two. Each team has two games. There's the midweek game on Wednesday, and then there's also the games for Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be doing both games at the same time. So let's jump straight into it. Let's start with the big one: Manchester United vs Arsenal. That's the star game for tomorrow. Um, Looking at that game and looking at the performance for both teams, I think that game is always a big game, right? If you look at the last two games United played with Arsenal at Arsenal's Emirates Stadium, it was close. One was 3-1 to Arsenal, and then the previous season, I think it was 3-2 to Arsenal. But if you look at both games, you see that it was 1-1 for a very long time. In fact, the one that was 3-1, I think they scored the two goals to make it 3-1 in the 96th and 97th minute. And then the one that ended 3-2 in favor of Arsenal, I think they also scored the winning goal in the 90th minute. So I know Arsenal, they're in form. They won their last two games by 5 goals. So their fans might be carried away to think that this is going to be another 5+ win. But no, I think this is going to be a big game. It's going to be a very close game. United obviously is going to set up to play the 3-4-3 that the new manager is trying to kind of introduce the new system. And the thing with that new system, as I said last week, is that you get a lot of chances. So what determines how the game goes is if you take those chances. And when United played Everton last week, I said it comes down to who takes their chances. Everton had chances, they didn't take them. United had chances, they took them. And that's why United won 4-0. So I think the game tomorrow with Arsenal, United is also going to get chances because of that setup for fast break, the pace of Rashford, Garnacho, Ahmad in that front three. It's going to trouble anybody, right? So it just comes down to if they take their chances. On paper, Arsenal is the stronger team. Arsenal is more solid. Arsenal is going for the title. Arsenal has to win this game. Again, Arsenal have to win it. They don't have any option. Even a draw will give Liverpool a chance to go 11 clear, and we all know that if Liverpool goes 11 clear, then that's it. Arsenal is out of the title race. So it's a must-win game for Arsenal. I think Arsenal is going to approach that game. Arteta is really smart, right? He's going to approach that game with caution. He's just going to do whatever it takes to win. As I said, even if it's via corner kick, even if it's to win dirty, even if it's in the manner that the fans don't enjoy, he's just going to do whatsoever it takes to win. So for me, that game is close. That game is a very close game. You cannot really say for sure. Yes, Arsenal go in as favourites. They are at home, but Arsenal to me have been strongest away from home. If you look at Arsenal's best results this season, it has been away from home. So for me, that's a very close game. It can go either ways. That's what I would say about that game. So the next game is Chelsea. Chelsea, I think, have two games. They have Southampton away, and then they have the London derby against Spurs. What I would say is, again, I said Southampton is they've been improving. If you look at them against United, they should have gotten something. They didn't get anything. Against Man City, they played really well and they didn't get anything. At Arsenal, they scored first, right? And they ended up losing that game 3-1. They didn't get anything. Against Liverpool at home, they were even leading at 1.21, but they ended up losing the game 3-2. So, and each time their performances are improving. Again, I said Southampton is getting very close to getting a result against one of the big teams. Will it be Chelsea? I don't know. Because Chelsea looks solid, right? Chelsea takes care of their business. They don't mess around when they play the small teams. They make sure that they take their chances when it comes, and they win the game, they move on to the next one, and that's what they've been doing for the first 13 games. So to call Southampton to beat Chelsea, I don't really see it happening. I think this will be another game whereby Southampton will battle hard, play good football, but still kind of go empty-handed, just because I think Chelsea will win this game. And then the London derby between Chelsea and Spurs is interesting, right? I said something about Spurs last week. I said, you never know what to get from Spurs. They beat Man City 3-0, and then the next game they played a draw. I said they beat Aston Villa 4-1, and then the next game they lost to Ipswich. So it's like Spurs up and down. And if we follow that pattern of up and down, then we'll say, okay, the up is beating Man City, right? The down is now playing a draw at home against Fulham, 10-man Fulham, despite Fulham had a red card. So if we go by that, that means the up now will be getting a result against Chelsea. So Spurs at home in that London derby, Chelsea is more solid. If you look at the high line, the type of football both sides play, Chelsea is slight favourite to win that game. But again, as I said, with Tottenham, you never know what you will get. The game, you expect them to not get something from. They beat United 3-0. So look at Tottenham. They beat United, they beat Man City, and they beat Aston Villa. But then they are now losing to the small teams. The classic Tottenham for you. So this London derby on Sunday, I have it as 50-50 because Spurs is at home. I won't be surprised if Spurs win the game. So this is the first time I'm saying I won't be surprised if somebody beats Chelsea. Even though I feel Chelsea is a stronger team, but it's a London derby, Spurs at home. You don't know which Tottenham is going to show up. So we'll have to wait and see. For Man City, I feel like Man City have suffered enough, right? 6-7 games without a win. But looking at the performances, I looked at the game against Liverpool. I thought Man City did well. Yes, they were under pressure. They conceded the first goal. But from there, I think they played well. They kind of controlled the game. But they still have those mistakes, right? And teams like Liverpool will punish those mistakes. That's one thing with Liverpool, right? I won't say the same thing about Nottingham Forest. I think Man City at home, I think Man City is going to beat Forest. I think Man City will still make mistakes, right? There will be those chances, but I won't say Forest will be clinical like Liverpool. So I will have Man City to beat Forest. And then their next game on Saturday is away to Crystal Palace. And I think Man City just needs one win to get their confidence back. I think they beat Forest and I think they beat Crystal Palace. So for me, I think this is going to be 2 wins in a row for Man City, and that will hopefully be the beginning of their comeback, because we want a title race. As I said, we don't want Liverpool to run away with it. We want like a proper title race whereby Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City, and if possible Chelsea competes. Yes, I know United is not the title race, but we want to see many teams compete for the title, right? So that it will be fun, it will be interesting. So I'm hoping that's what we get this season, and not just Liverpool running away with the title. So I mean, that takes me to Liverpool. Liverpool is good. Like I've said it many times. You know, the last 8-9 games for Liverpool, most of the pundits said, "Oh, that's the game of those are the doom games. Those are the games that will define Liverpool's season." Blah blah blah. I said, "See, Liverpool is going to win most of those games." I said that in October. And now Liverpool has won, 7 out of those games, and they played just 1 draw against Arsenal. That's Liverpool for you. Solid team, good attackers, clinical, taking their chances. They've won 15 games now, so they're very confident. Away to Newcastle is a hard game for everybody, but Newcastle doesn't even get a result against Liverpool. When last did Newcastle beat Liverpool? Right? So Newcastle, they barely get a result against Liverpool. So I will be shocked if Liverpool doesn't take 3 points at Newcastle. I think Liverpool is actually going to win that game. I think it might be close, it might be dirty, it might be difficult, but I have Liverpool to actually win that game. And then on Saturday, Liverpool, or Sunday rather, they play this Merseyside derby against Everton. Everton is poor. I saw what Everton played with United. I know that it's a derby, it's a local derby, but I will be shocked if Liverpool doesn't beat Everton. United just beat Everton 4-0, right? And it was because of series of mistakes from Everton. So I don't see how in one game they are going to suddenly clean up all these mistakes, especially considering that if you look at Liverpool's style of play, they press you and force you to make mistakes, force Man City to make mistakes, force Southampton to make mistakes. That's classic Liverpool. And based on the amount of mistakes that Everton made, they gave away 3 goals to United because of mistakes. I don't see how they will be able to clean that up before they face Liverpool. So I think Liverpool win at Everton. So for me, it's 2 away wins for Liverpool. And that's why their rivals have to really make sure they get points this week, because otherwise Liverpool by next week will be what 14, 15 points away if the rivals if they dare drop points. And that takes me to Arsenal. I think Arsenal has a London derby against Fulham. On paper, you expect Arsenal to win that, but again, as I said, it's a London derby. Who knows what's going to happen in a London derby? Anything can happen in a London derby. If you look at last season, Fulham is one of the teams that cost Arsenal the title, right? Fulham beat Arsenal. I think yes. I think Fulham beat Arsenal 2-1 or so, if I remember correctly, and West Ham as well. So those two teams, those are London derbies that Arsenal should win, but they drop points in those games and it cost them. I think, well, this season they must have learned from their mistake, but Fulham is solid. Fulham is also playing well. So I think that game at Fulham is going to be a very difficult game. And again, as I said, it's a London derby. Arsenal will go in as favourite, obviously. Against any smaller team, they will be favourite. But that's a game to keep a close eye on. For me, I would say the game against United at home for Arsenal should probably be an easier game for them than the London derby at Fulham, just because of the style of play of United. That 3-4-3, United will give chances to the opponent, right? And if you're clinical to take those chances, then you can punish United. I mean, if you look at the game against Everton, Everton had chances, right? If they took those chances, they would have punished United. So I don't see how United will also clean up those errors. I think United will also give Arsenal chances. So I feel like at home for Arsenal, that's kind of like an easier game for them than the game against Fulham. So yeah, that's it. I mean, Chelsea, as I said, I have Chelsea to beat. Southampton, I have the game against Spurs to go either ways. It's 50-50. It's a London derby. For Arsenal, I said the game with United is going to be highly competitive. Arsenal is slight favourite because they're at home, but that's going to be a difficult game. And then I said the London derby as well is also going to be a difficult game. I'm not saying Arsenal cannot navigate those games, because Arsenal has shown that they can actually manage and win those kind of difficult games, but we'll have to wait and see. For City, I think City is going to have 2 wins. I think City is going to win at home against Forest, and I think City is going to go and win at Crystal Palace as well. For Liverpool, I said I think Liverpool is going to beat Newcastle, and they're also going to win at Everton. And yeah, so for United, I think United have to play Arsenal at home, and then they play Arsenal away. And after that, I think they have a home game or so. So for United, you will expect, I mean, the game at Arsenal, if United gets a draw, it will be a good result, considering that they have a new manager and they're still in this development phase. But then for the home game, you expect United to win that home game. As I said, at the game at Old Trafford, at this time, with the fans pushing United, I will expect United to win. So yeah, that's kind of the end of my analysis and prediction for this week. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye.